What's up guys, Braden here with SuperATV, and today we're going to be showing you how to install SuperATV's aluminum roof on this Polaris RZR XP4. So let's get right to it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is lay all of our components out. You're gonna see that you have these two brackets here. Well, on one side, you can see where it's been welded. There will be a little bit of weld on the back side, but you'll see where there's more weld. This is gonna be the top. We're gonna apply our adhesive on the opposite side of where the weld is. So if you're looking at it, you can see that the bend is facing down. This is the way that it needs to be installed. So we have these pre-cut pieces here of adhesive or foam. What you're gonna do is peel the backing off of these, and then you're gonna line up the holes and install this to both pieces. So for one of your brackets, you're gonna install it on the side that's welded. On the opposite bracket, you're gonna install it on the opposite side that you just installed your seal. So as long as you install it on one side of the bracket on one of them, and then the opposite on the other, you're gonna be in good shape. So we're just gonna continue installing our foam adhesive. So that way, one of them will lay like this on the bottom, and then this one will lay on the top of the roof. So now what we're gonna do, this is gonna be the inside of the roof here. So we're gonna grab our barrel screws. The side with the sealing washer is gonna come up because like I said, this is the inside. So this would be the top bracket. What we're gonna do is slide the barrel through, then get it over here, line it up. And once it's lined up, we'll grab the opposite side of the screw and start it. What I like to do is do one on each side to kind of help hold the bracket up into place. And then we'll just go down through and install all of them here. And then slide our roof in, the other section of the roof. And do the same thing. We'll get it lined up on the corners and pop our hardware through and get it started. And then we'll just continue going down through and installing all of our hardware. Now our corners are started. We're just going to continue putting all of our barrel hardware all the way down through here in each hole. Now we're going to couple the front section of roof to the rear section. We're going to need to grab some of our rubber seal here. And we're going to apply it on this edge all the way across. Once we get here, we'll go ahead and cut off the excess. And we're gonna grab the rear portion of the roof, lay it up onto the front portion. We'll grab our barrel hardware again, Same hardware we used to couple the front sections together. We're going to make sure that our seal is on the top, coming down. So this is the inside. We need to make sure our seal is on the bottom. Just kind of angle it where it all lines up. And we'll just continue installing our hardware all the way across. Now we're going to grab our edge seal. We're going to start right here on this corner to the opposite side. So once we get to this point here, we're going to go ahead and cut off our excess. All right, so as you can see, we already have our seal installed as well as our brackets and our clamps. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna walk you around and show you where everything needs to go. So in the kit, you're gonna see that you have 4 of these brackets here. Well, in these locations where the cage is bolted together, you're gonna remove the factory hardware. Then you're gonna install our bracket that we send in the kit with the cage bolts as well as the nuts. So you're gonna do that for this position here, here, and then on the opposite sides. You wanna snug the hardware, but you don't wanna fully tighten it because there is some adjustment up and down. So this time you'll wanna go through, install all of those brackets. Like I said, you just remove the factory cage bolts from this location, and then the same thing on the opposite side. Get your bracket up there, take the provided hardware, it's gonna slide through, and then start your nut on the opposite side and snug it up to where the bracket can still move if need be. So now we're gonna grab our seal, and you're gonna apply this seal starting right here. You're gonna leave a little bit of a gap here in this area. You're gonna run it down all the way down this tube. So you're gonna run this whole length of this tube, and you're gonna stop right about here, right before the cage bolts together. And then you're gonna put a small piece in the center of this rear tube. Same thing on the opposite side. This tube right here that runs across the center of the cage in the front, you're gonna put a piece of seal there. And then also here on the middle tube. Then we're gonna grab our clamps. So as you can see, we have our clamps installed in the following positions. You're gonna wanna put a clamp here, one on the opposite side in the same location. And then if you move back to the second tube on the cage, right here in the center in between the front and rear seats, you're gonna put a clamp right in the dead center of the machine there. And then all the way back to the back, then right here on the back, you'd put one, and then same thing on the opposite side. You wanna snug these clamps up and get them close to where they're gonna be, but you do not wanna fully tighten them yet. What you wanna do is get your roof laid up here, get your hardware started in it, and then tighten the clamps, which we'll talk about. But now what we're gonna do is grab our roof and get it laid up on the cage of our machine. Now we're gonna grab our spacer, our long Allen-headed hardware out of the kit, and then a nylock nut. So right here on this corner, we're gonna slide our spacer in between the roof and the cage, lay the roof down. We're gonna grab our hardware, slide it down through the spacer, then through the cage, and we're gonna grab our nylock nut and start it on the inside. We're just gonna get a couple turns on it. We don't want the roof to be hung up. We still wanna be able to move it from side to side. And we'll repeat the same step, but the opposite side. Now we're gonna grab the rest of our Allen-headed hardware and install it into our clamps. You just wanna get them started. We're not gonna fully tighten anything yet. So there's one there and then one on the opposite side. If you were to fully tighten the clamps, you're not gonna be able to manipulate them around to where you can get it lined up with the threads. We're gonna go to the center right here, get it started on our clamp. so. And we're gonna start it right here in our front clamp. Then we're gonna work our way around on our brackets. We'll drop our hardware down through our bracket, and we'll grab our M6 nut, go to the inside, and just start our nut onto our hardware. Now that all of our hardware is started, we're just gonna fully tighten all the hardware. So once you've went through and fully tightened all the hardware, that's all there is to it to install SuperATV's aluminum roof on this Polaris RZR XP4. Be sure to check the description below to pick yours up today, and while you're there, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.